This is not wasting money. Going out into space, the great unknown, doing things that no human has ever done or conceived of doing, making history, changing civilization, doing something that they'll be reading about in history books, that are implanted on their forearms 500 years from now. That can never be a waste of money. Finally, this went viral. Here's a post from Colin Rugg. We'll play the video as I read the caption. There's no audio to it, so you can see there. China officially opens the world's tallest bridge, completing the project in under 4 years. The bridge features a restaurant at the top, a whopping 2,600 feet above the river. The bridge not only cuts a 2-hour drive to 2 minutes, but also features a theme park with a glass skywalk, a high-speed glass elevator, and a waterfall off the edge of the bridge. Okay. So, very impressive, as you can see. And of course, the reason I think it's going viral is that people in America are looking at it. You look at the comments, and it's just all these comments saying, asking the same question, which is, why aren't we building stuff like this anymore? Right? Why is it, if there's some big, impressive architectural engineering feat, it's always China doing it these days. And how did they build this giant bridge across this 2,000-foot canyon in 4 years? And there's like restaurants and theme parks and everything. Meanwhile, the Key Bridge in Baltimore had a cargo ship ram into it 2 years ago, and there's still a giant gaping hole in the side of it. They haven't even started to fix it yet. So what's going on? I mean, why don't we do this? When was our last great architectural feat? When was our last engineering marvel? We've had a lot of them. No one's had more than us. I mean, we are the country that dug the Panama Canal. We dug a canal across 51 miles of jungle and connected 2 oceans together. Something multiple countries tried to do and failed, and we went in and did it. We built the Empire State Building, 1,200 feet high. Took 1 year. They did it in 1 year, and not only is it a really high building, the tallest in the world at the time that it was built, it's also beautiful. It's a beautiful building on top of just being really big. Built the Hoover Dam, the largest concrete structure ever built at the time. Built the Golden Gate Bridge, longest suspension bridge ever built at the time. That thing is anchored like 200 feet below sea level. And again, it's not only big, and it was built quickly. It was built in 4 years. Not only big, built quickly, has withstood the test of time. It's beautiful. It's like art also. That was also in the 1930s. We built the Transcontinental Railroad. Do you understand the Transcontinental Railroad was built across like 2,000 miles through desert, through mountains, through forests, across great plains, right? They were getting attacked by Indians, bandits. There were diseases. 1,500 workers died. And they completed it in the 1860s with 1860s technology. And if it's been a while since you studied this in school, guess how long? 6 years. In the 1860s. No modern technology at all to speak of. People dying by the hundreds building this railroad over mountains and across deserts. 6 years. We can't even build a parking garage in that amount of time now. Okay, it'll take 6 years just to get the zoning permits to build a parking garage. If they tried to build that Chinese bridge in California today, it'd take 14 years just to begin construction. They'd start talking about it now, right? With a goal of, okay, this will begin construction in the year 2040. And then when it begins, it'll be canceled years before it was ever going to be completed. So what changed? I mean, why can't we do stuff like this anymore? Well, part of it is what I just mentioned: endless tape, permits, endless red tape, permits, zoning stuff, restrictions, endless bureaucratic meddling. It just makes it impossible to do anything great, anything awesome. Certainly like a tolerance for danger. We have no tolerance for that at all anymore. What started as an idea is now the podcast and business blasting through your earbuds. Launching your own business is pretty much on everyone's bucket list, but most people let it collect dust right next to learn a language and get abs. Stop hiding behind lame excuses like, I don't have the skills, I can't do it alone. Turn those what ifs into bold why nots with Shopify backing your ideas. They've got the tools. You just need to take the chance. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. We even use it for our own Daily Wire shop to make sure things are running smoothly and efficiently so you get all the goods. You might be asking, what if I can't design a website? Or I'm worried people haven't heard of my brand. Not a problem. Shopify's got you covered from the start with beautiful, ready-to-go templates that match your brand's style and help you find your customers through easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And if you need a hand with everyday tasks, their AI tools created specifically for commerce can help enhance product images and write descriptions and more. Plus, their award-winning customer support is available 24/7 to share advice if you ever get stuck. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Walsh. Go to shopify.com/Walsh, shopify.com/Walsh. When we were building the Panama Canal, building the Transcontinental Railroad, we went into it knowing like, okay, a lot, when the workers showed up, it was like, a lot of you are going to die doing this, by the way. Well, here's what we're doing, and a lot of you are going to die trying to do it. That's the deal. Now, I'm not suggesting that we should accept that much carnage. Like, we don't need to. We also have modern technology. We have modern medicine. So that's, I'm not saying people should sign up for, to give their lives for a construction project. But what I'm saying is we've gone all the way to the other extreme. And that's part of the problem. And as a country, so we just you can't do it. We can't do anything great, anything awesome. And that really is the primary reason. That's the primary reason to build a bridge like the one in China. Sure, it has a practical purpose. It cuts a 2-hour drive into 2 minutes. But also, you should build the bridge because it's awesome. That's why you should do it. Why do you build the giant bridge and you got the theme park and the restaurant on it and it's really high and it cuts down a commute, but why do you really build it? Because it's really cool. That's why. Because you want to be able to say you did it. Okay? Because as a country, you should be doing awesome. That's why. It's that simple. You should do it because it's great. You should do it because you can. But that reasoning is not convincing to bureaucrats. That's the problem. They don't care about greatness. They don't care about anything. They're nihilistic meddlers who exist solely to justify their own jobs and for no other purpose. I mean, asking why a bureaucrat exists, asking why are you doing this? It's like asking why cancer exists. Well, it exists to eat away and destroy. That's why it's there. It doesn't have any other purpose. It's not thinking about what it's doing. It's just, that's why it's there. And as bureaucrats, it's just like their job is, okay, well, you want to do something awesome? We're going to make it impossible for you. And if you were to ask them, why are you doing this to us? Why? Why are you making this impossible? We want to do something awesome. Why are you doing everything you can to stop us? They don't have an answer. As I said, it's like asking a cancerous tumor why it's doing what it's doing. There's no answer. So that's part of the problem. Also, we rely on cheap, bad Mexican labor for everything now. Even though we built all those incredible things without Mexican labor, now we're told that, well, you can't. Oh, we gotta have the Mexican, you gotta have the labor here from, South America and Central America, because otherwise you can't build anything. Well, okay, well, that's interesting. So how did we, build everything without them to begin with, huh? Now we can't do anything? Now we can't do anything without Mexican labor? Well, how did we build the country without them? I'd like to know. And then also, finally, I think, and this is the biggest problem, is that we've just lost the will and desire to do the great things. I think we have. And that's the saddest thing about, like, the state of the country right now. We talk about making America great again. Well, we will be great again when we as a nation have the will and desire to go out and do impossible things just for the sake of doing them. That's the kind of greatness that has defined our country since its beginning. Go do something impossible, do something unthinkable, do something historic, just to do it. And anyone asks you, well, why? Why are we doing that? It's like, those people are so weak and pathetic. It's not even worth answering them. The answer should be self-evident. The answer is in the greatness of the thing itself. When you go out to do something great and someone says, why are you doing this? Well, if that's not because it's great, because look at it, that's why. And if that's not immediately obvious to you, then you're not worth talking to. You shouldn't have a voice in this conversation. Now, there are still Americans individually who have that drive, obviously, but there are Americans who do impressive things all the time. But as a nation, I don't think that we have that. And a lot of that goes to leadership. And I'm not specifically talking about the White House right now. I'm talking about, this is a decades, multi-decades long problem. And I'm talking about leadership institutionally across the board. And it's a cultural problem. It's a lot of things. And, and I think that's what we lost. And that's why I go on and on about space exploration all the time. And people will say to that, oh, there's no point. Why waste the money? What? Why waste the money on that? Waste money? What are you talking about? We waste money in a million ways already. If you're really worried about we're wasting money, there's so many other. We waste money when we give fat people food stamps so they can buy Dr. Pepper. Okay. That's wasting money. We waste money in a million different ways that you can count. This is not wasting money. Going out into space, the great unknown, doing things that no human has ever done or conceived of doing, making history, changing civilization, doing something that they'll be reading about in history books, that are implanted on their forearms 500 years from now. Like, that can never be a waste of money. How could it be? What is the point of money? What's the point of being a wealthy country, a highly advanced wealthy country, if you're not going to do stuff like that? What's the point? So, that's what we need to get back to. And a lot of it is, it is a cultural thing. Like, we have to have that desire in us. A lot of us are not going to be the ones who go and do that. I'm not actually going to be the one. I'd love to go into space. I got 6 kids now. My wife probably would not approve. So I've aged out. I've aged out of space exploration. I still think it should be done. And there is something to, so even if you're not going to go out and do the thing, just like I say, we built the Panama Canal. Well, most Americans didn't build it. We built the Empire State Building. I say we. Most Americans, the vast majority of Americans, even alive at the time, had no hand in that. But you do have a hand in it if you, by just the desire to see it done, by supporting it, by like calling for it. I mean, this was at the time culturally, there was this cultural, and I say at the time, I mean for decades, for the entire history of America up until very recently, the culture demanded it. Everybody wanted it. We want to see this country do incredible, great, awesome things. And in that environment, that's where the people who know how to do those things can step up and say, okay, you guys want this and you're going to support it. You're going to support it financially. You're going to give it the moral support it needs and all that. Then I'll go do it. I'll be the guy. And, we need to create that environment, I think, and we don't right now. So there it is. That's my speech for today. Get back to greatness. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.